Bring you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show this morning. I'm excited to be here with you guys. I am not a stranger to this particular studio. I've been here before as a guest with Art, so it is a great honor and privilege to be able to be here today, sitting in his stead. I would like to introduce today my producer. He's in the studio with me today, John B. John.
Hello.
And for those of you who are out there, maybe you're saying, hey, this guy doesn't seem so strange after all. I do have a show here at WSGW titled United Shades of Gray, Conversations of Race in America. And we often have really, I think, dynamic conversations, wouldn't you say, John, about the things that impact us all, in our everyday lives.
Yeah, it's good conversations, good learning experience, too.
Now I will also give us a shout out. Let them know when they can listen to that show as we continue with this one.
United Shades of Gray is Sunday nights at 7 o'clock p.m. here on WSGW 790 AM, 100.5 FM. And we live stream on our socials at 1 o'clock now on Wednesday afternoons. So we had a live stream yesterday to record that for Sunday.
Yeah, good show yesterday. See, that's why I let him do it, because he's a lot better at it than I am. Well, one of the things that we often do with United Shades of Gray, and if you're interested, there's also another show on our sister station on KISS 107.1 FM. That's WTLZ. That airs at 6 p.m. That is Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. So I do a lot of talking all of the time. That's something that my mom said, boy, you sure can talk. But I'm glad to be here with you guys, everyone that is out there listening to this conversation. We're going to give you an opportunity at some point during the day to call in and to just express your opinion, because I think that your opinion matters. So one of the things that we like to do on United Shades of Gray is that we talk about things that are hot off the press. All right. And so I would love to get into that conversation. But for some of you that have never met me before, never heard me on the radio, I just want to give you a really quick idea of who I am. I have been a resident here in the city of Saginaw my entire life, born and raised. The studio lands in Carlton. I went to Carlton High School, graduated, go Cavs, and had an opportunity to just kind of grow up in this particular area. When I graduated, went out to Michigan State University, did my undergrad and my master's program there at Michigan State University. Was going to go to med school, and shocked my parents, gave them the shock of their lives, John. I decided the day that I was supposed to go to med school, I don't want to do this anymore. So you can imagine they were probably like, oh, they had their mindset on having a doctor in the family. Yeah. But we did something a little bit different. Instead, I started an entertainment company, Elite Management, and I worked with professional athletes. The first of which was Jason Richardson here, hometown hero. Was able to be there with him through the Golden State Warriors and Draymond Green. And we've worked with so many of the top NBA athletes that are from this area as well as across the nation. And it has been an amazing time for 18 years, traveling the country, going to arenas, being a part of the NBA All-Star field, and just having that experience has been life-changing for me. And so it's time. 18 years is a long time to be living out of a suitcase, spending a lot of time out in the Bay Area, then Arizona, then Florida. But it's great to be back home. I am now a pastor in the community, the Potter's Church International Ministries, and we are molding lives by the power of God's word. So businessman, we do a lot here in the community. There are several businesses that I operate, and I'm working with communities and schools on how we can make our community better. So that's kind of in a nutshell who I am. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. And what is hot off the press today? Down in the southern part of the state, Ethan Crumbley, the 16-year-old kid who was accused of Oxfield Oxford High School shooting, on last year. It seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was in November.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
last year already. He was before court today, and I guess because he's a juvenile and he's in an adult jail, he has to go and have a review each week to determine what happens with him. He was before them today, and they said, "Hey, we think that the best place for you to do is to remain in an adult county jail until you come before the court." So he'll be back before the court on the 23rd of next month. Judge Kwame Rose said, "Hey, we're not letting this just kind of get away. We want to make sure that we do what's best for not only the community, which I think is important, but for also this young man." And I think whenever we're dealing with juvenile court, and this does not happen all the time, it's important that we make sure that the community is safe, but then we also have to make sure that we're doing what's best for these young people. And if there is a pathway towards rehabilitation, I am always a proponent for that. He is now faced with 24 counts, including murder and terrorism, after allegedly shooting and killing 4 teens and injured several others, which brings us to a larger conversation, which we've had, on the other show, as we were talking about gun laws and the fact that here we are with these gun laws that are actually going to take place. There's actually going to be changes to our gun laws, not necessarily the ones that I would like to see ultimately. And for those of you who are listening, you're like, "Oh, here he comes. He wants to take away our guns." No, I'm a gun owner. I love the ability to go out and shoot. We shoot at the range as a kid growing up. We used to shoot, shotguns and things, and shooting at cans with BB guns. So it has been a part of my life. However, I do recognize that once I got out of my smaller community and I began to travel and see the world in different ways, that there are a lot of people out there who are suffering, and guns tend to be the weapon of choice for a lot of what's happening in our world. Not to mention that there is a lot of, I think it needs counseling. Everyone in the world needs a hug since COVID. Are you feeling that people are uptight?
Yeah. I think that there's really no denying that there's a mental health issue in this country.
Something is going on here. And so we got to make sure that we're taking care of one another and we're doing what's best for us as a nation. So some new gun laws, which kind of really equate to mental health coverage, some safety and security issues. There's for those who are under 21, some additional security measures. It is not the end all be all, but it is a start. And I say kudos to those legislators who were able to put the line aside their party lines to make something happening. And we are just waiting, just minutes away from the answer or the outcome of the Supreme Court's decision. We know that earlier this year, there was a leak of information on the Roe v. Wade, and that they were considering abolishing or doing away with it. So we are all waiting. Usually those opinions come down mid-June. We are now on the 23rd day of June.
Yeah, we're getting towards the end of June.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to throw the opinion out the window and take off and go, hide for a while. Yeah. It is definitely going to be very transformative. I think that we are at a place that it is all but a matter of fact, and just really crossing T's and dotting I's, and Roe v. Wade will go down. But hey, there are some people out there like the Chief Justice who may have a differing opinion and may be able to persuade the others to do something other than a total annihilation of that particular right. So we're going to get into, I know that we have some people that are calling in, and you just let me know when we get a call in. I don't know, because we have a guy that I really cannot wait to get him on the conversation. Is he here with us, John?
Yep, he just called in.
All right, so let's get Bob begin in with us in just a quick second, but we're going to take a commercial break before that happens.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king, because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're speaking another language. like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an M. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a mixed update on the job market. There were 229,000 people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. It is a decline, but the drop is not as much as economists were predicting. Continuing claims, those still receiving benefits increased by 5,000 to 1.3 million. The largest increases in new claims were in California, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan. The largest decreases were in Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, and New Mexico. Fed Chair Jerome Powell answers questions from the House Financial Services Committee today after admitting yesterday a recession is a possibility, but not the intention of the Fed's inflation fighting. Darden restaurant sales jumped in the recent quarter, with people returning to Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and Capitol Grill. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Run, walk, honor. The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk in New York City retraces FDNY firefighter Stephen Siller's final footsteps on 9/11. That single event has inspired more than 70 runs, walks, and climbs in different cities across the nation each year. Register for an event in your area or volunteer to start one. Do good and never forget by donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
Hello, this is Kareem Bowen, and you're listening to The Art Lewis Show. I'm sitting in his stead, and we're going to continue this wonderful conversation. Today, I'm in the studio with my producer, John B. John, what's going on with you today?
Hello. Doing well.
Doing well. All right. So we have a great guest. I just want to just kind of prep this conversation. In August, the end of August last week, I was so stressed out and I needed to just kind of take some time to unwind. I happened to be talking to a friend of mine that owns a winery out in Napa Valley, and we were having a conversation. I was like, wow, I really need to just come out and just spend some time to unwind. He goes, wow, there is a winery there in Michigan that the USA Today ranked #1 winery in the nation. And I was like, in Michigan? And so I got online immediately, and I was so impressed with what I saw. I made a reservation. I was looking, and they were like, normally the reservations are booked 6 months. I got on there. There was one room that was available, and it was the presidential suite. Of course, you know myself. I like to pamper myself. I work hard, play hard. So I made the reservations for a few days and went up. And so our next guest, who we're bringing to the studio, Bob Begin, I think is how we pronounce his name. Bob, are you there?
Yeah, I am here, Carlene. Begin. You see, I heard your advertisement on Babbles for maybe learning some French. I guarantee you that it's a lot better if your mom is one of 15 who migrated from the backwoods of Quebec. She couldn't speak English at all, only French. Je parle français, puis le nom en français c'est Paget, not vegan. And if you're in Israel, like Jeff Haas, the jazz musician here, his father migrated from the backwoods of Germany during the Nazi regime, and he was on NPR in Manhattan. You may remember for years he had classical music 5 days a week out of Manhattan. In any event, we were at a tasting, not a tasting, but he asked us to do that at the Milliken Auditorium here, seat some 400, and at the intermission, they were raising money for a synagogue. They're Jewish, and long story short, he thanked at the intermission time, George for cleaning the auditorium and Mary for selling tickets and blah blah blah. Virtually everyone there was Jewish for the synagogue, and the Begins. At that time, the Prime Minister of Israel was Begin, Menachem Begin. We became immediate Jews, and I didn't tell anybody any different.
Well, it is so nice to have you with us today, Bob. I just was sharing with them, and we've talked, a couple of times since then, the amazing experience that we've had. The name of the place is Chateau Chantal. And you guys are located in Mission Peninsula, just about 14 miles north of Traverse City. I want you to just kind of share with our audience, because I was really blown away that this quality of a vineyard was in existence here in Michigan. And with gas prices going through the roof, I think that we're probably going to be a tourist in our city a little bit more this summer. How did you come up with Chateau Chantal? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, my daughter's name is Marie Chantal. It's a hyphenated first name. And we got married late in life. My wife is 46 when we gave birth to Marie. She is now the president, the CEO here. She's also certified sommelier, graduated from DePaul in Chicago, worked there several years with a European distributor. Got her to go to the University of Adelaide in Australia, where they specialize in winery management and distinction between enology and viticulture. Long story short, the best thing that happened there, she met this blue-eyed Dago, who's also a certified mechanic and diesel mechanic, and he runs all of our vineyards. In addition to this vineyard that you were seeing, we do 6 others that we don't own. And we used to own Hawthorne Winery, if you're familiar with that. It's about 8 miles south of us. Like this, elevated view of both bays, 85 acres, few cherries left. We bought this place in '83 as a cherry orchard, and farm cherries for about 7 or 8 years. But every year we take out a couple acres of vines, of trees, and put vines in. And in '93 we built the first building that had 3 units in it for a B&B. And then 10 years later, in 2003, I ran out of money. We did an IPO and built out the rest of the rooms, namely a total of 12, very nice rooms, frankly. And then a few years later, about 7 years later, we extended the cellar quite extensively to the extent that our harvest last year was 412 tons.
Wow.
A lot of grapes, and they're all in the tanks now, and that's a good space. And above it is a patio and a gazebo. Guests come out there and either look out over the East Bay or come on the other side of the buildings and look out on the West Bay and the island, Marion Island, the beautiful cosmic view. The best part about this whole place, we had absolutely nothing to do. It's just a gift from God. And, in fact, we live upstairs. In '93, when we built the first building, had to move out of the house that built on the West Bay, and the front section has a kind of a circular view. You look out the window, it's not 180, it's about 240 degrees.
You know what, Bob? When I came up, you were offering, hey, why don't you come up and take a look at the views? And I was blown away. I was out on the upper concourse on the patio, and just kind of getting some work done, just kind of having a relaxing moment and unwinding. And I'll tell you, there's a couple of things that I really remember. The views of both bays was absolutely just gorgeous, breathtaking, very clear days. Then the other thing that I remembered was the room was impeccable. I stayed in the presidential suite, as I was sharing with our listeners. Now, what was interesting was that it looked like a French chateau. The rooms were impeccable, greatly appointed. Who and why did you decide to go with the thing that you did with this place in mid-Michigan? You run into a French chateau that is appointed impeccably. Whose idea was that?
Well, my folks were both migrants from Quebec. They spoke French all the time. And I was kind of brought up with that. And as a kid in 6th grade, 7th and 8th, Mom put me on a train and sent me up to the commercial farm that they had way up in the backwoods of Quebec, and sent me back for elementary school. And then in high school, college, and postgraduate work, it was 12 years in the seminary on Chicago Boulevard in Detroit. And then about 20 years, essentially working in the inner city. If you're familiar with that part of Detroit.
Yep.
French Road exit off of I-96 south down the Mack Avenue, and between St. Jean and St. Jean from Jefferson up to that point is Chrysler Corporation. And then on the other side, the Goethe. And we spent all those years there, and had 3 schools. We had to close them. We couldn't afford them anymore. But during the Johnson administration, near the late 60s, we were able to convert one to a school that leased to a Chrysler Corporation to teach guys how to work in a factory. And then the other one turned into a home school. It just doesn't cost very much, mostly run by ladies in that part of the community for kids and so on. Had to close the high school, and then got into a rehab. As you probably know, in the lower part of Detroit, you had a lot of foreclosed properties.
Absolutely.
And during the Johnson administration, they were high-end subsidy programs nobody believes today. Some reason or another, Ford Foundation gave me a grant and sent me into the HUD building in Washington next to the White House for 4 months. Got into the integrals of those programs. And then we started off with 3 Jesuit brothers out by Columbia and north of Clarkston. 2 of them were framers, and one was a master electrician. And then developed a crew of about 22 to 24 guys, some of whom were COs in lieu of induction during the Vietnamese War. I don't know why they sent them to us. They usually put them in hospitals.
So Bob, were these individuals that helped you to design and to build the chateau?
Well, it was the beginning of getting into the construction aspect of it. And then on a real high volume basis, I started what we did: quantity surveys, cost estimates, regression analysis for appraisals with foreclosed properties in 9 major cities: New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit, Seattle, blah, blah, blah. And then I had enough of that stuff. And after 10 years of that, I sold my interest that in the company I started, and said, well, we're going to move out. And long story short, flew out here. At the time I was flying a little putt-putt out of Detroit Metro, just to the west end, right on the West Bay. No, I don't believe it today, but we bought that lot, 110 feet right on the water, about 2 1/4 deep, and dirt road in the back. Today, full $1 million homes.
Wow!
But I paid $38,500 for that that lot. Today, I look out the back window here. There's a cutout on the ridge and on the East Bay, a program there. There's called 81. There's 41 1-acre lots for sale, starting at $425,000.
It is an absolutely gorgeous location, Bob. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more We're going to take a quick commercial break, but I want to talk a little bit more about what you guys have planned up there for the Chateau for the summer. A remarkable place, beautiful. We're going to talk about that when we come back from this commercial break.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of June, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Be Well Saginaw. We all know Saginaw County is a wonderful place to live, work, and play, yet we rank among the least healthy counties in Michigan. 75% of us are overweight or obese. Our infant death rates are the highest in the state. Chronic diseases put too many of us at increased risk for serious illness, hospitalization, and death from COVID-19. Our substance use and suicide rates are too high. Be Well Saginaw aims to change that. It is a new community-wide initiative to make us stronger, healthier, and more resilient both physically and mentally. So, what can you do? Number 1, pledge to improve your health. Number 2, participate in events like the upcoming Be Well Saginaw 5K Run Walk on October 1st. Number 3, let your voice be heard on our community health assessment. Visit BeWellSaginaw.org and follow Be Well Saginaw on Facebook to learn more and find resources to help you be well.
Annette Glenn believes defunding police is radical and dangerous. Michigan's murder rate, 14th highest in the nation. Violent crime, above the national average. Annette Glenn backed more funding for police to keep us safe. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too, because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Sire? I just graduated first in my class at stonemasonry school.
I know. That's why we hired you.
Yeah, cool. But I was wondering why all I've been doing is sweeping the floors and providing slop for the hogs.
Well, how else do you think you learned to stonemason?
By stonemasoning, maybe?
How does that make any sense?
Throughout history, people have always been undervalued at work. That's why Monster lets you search salary by major. Find your job at monster.com or download the app.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis. This is the Art Lewis Show, and we have with us Bob Beggin, who is the owner of the Chateau Chantel in Mission Peninsula. Bob, I just wanted to ask you really quickly, what exactly do you guys have going on? The Chateau is absolutely amazing. How many rooms do you have? And what I can't hear you.
Well, there's 12 units. We have 6 master suites, 2 classic suites, 3 single rooms, if you would, bedrooms, so on. and one apartment. They all have either the showers, of course, and separate living rooms, along with the bedroom, and some of the rooms have jacuzzi baths and so forth. And breakfast, hot breakfast, is personally served every morning in complimentary bottled wine, etc. And everybody has his own patio to sit out there, especially in the summertime, overlooking either the east or the west bay. There's other things that are going on. Of course, tasting hours every day throughout the year, depending on the season, from 11 till 6 or 11 till 8. And starting in, this will be the 29th year, I think, of Jeff Haas, Jazz at Sunset. That's on Thursdays in July and August. And normally, if the temperature is fine outside, it's not raining, it's also outdoors. And it's a jazz group of 3 to 6 or 7 artists who play jazz. And then in addition to that, there's hospitality stuff, weddings. This time of the year in the summer, there's 3 dinners a week that are incredible. We have a chef that spent time at the Airy restaurant at the Grand Traverse Resort, the Swiss Hotel in Switzerland. Last year, for example, he spent 12, 15-hour days cooking at the PGA tournament in Georgia.
Wow.
And he's an excellent chef. And he, along with others, put on these full dinners, no more than 36. We have a 2,000 square foot, call it whatever you want. It's a kind of a restaurant dining room area, professional commercial kitchen and so forth. We're somewhat limited in things like weddings, for example. It's a perfect place for weddings, indoors or outdoors, as you can imagine. Scenery around here. Go ahead. There's also things like cooking classes, yoga, winter wine dinners, and so forth.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, first of all, so the chef that's coming in, that's preparing these amazing meals, is it possible for the general public to come in and participate with those meals?
Well, you have to make a reservation ahead of time, at least the day before, up until the day before the event. And at this time of the year, it's 3 nights a week.
Okay.
Where those full dinners, and the maximum attendance is 36. There was one last night, for example. It was full occupied, 36. And you're weighted on. It's like a restaurant of sorts, even more so than that. And each course has a separate wine to it. Just on the side, I probably don't like to do this publicly, but during the Obama administration, he threw a state dinner for Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada at the White House. And the chef there, not the chef, but the sommelier at the White House, chose us for the ice wine for the 7th course. And we're proud to be able to say that. We don't publicize it, though. It didn't seem proper.
What do you say? The way that I heard about you was because you guys, USA Today ranked you guys as one of the top wineries. And so I'm interested. What were your thoughts about that commendation?
Well, obviously we're pleased with it, and people use it in publicity, if you will, as you're suggesting now. But we don't push on it much. We're certainly one of many that I'm sure would qualify under the same rating. Why that came about, I think it's well earned. And a lot of it has nothing to do with what we do. It's what looking out the window has been. That's a gift. In fact, as you walk in the tasting room, I don't know if you remember seeing it. There's a 10-foot by 10-foot graphic on the wall, all done with bronze by a lady by the name of Vern Bartnick. She doesn't do this anymore, but she works at big, heavy bronze statues that are all over the city of Traverse City, Petoskey, and some of the churches and so on. And she'd lose all of her femininity with 2 acetylene torches and a welder's mask and an apron down to her knees. But she started a restaurant here 40 years ago, Old Mission Tavern. It's only about a mile north of us, popular with local people particularly. But she expresses at the bottom of that piece of, well, it's a reference to St. John chapter 15 of the scriptures. I am the vine, you are the branches. I'm the vine dresser, and you're going to get pruned in life for more fruit, blah, blah, blah. In fact, we took off from that and put in 3 acres for Sacramento wine over at the local parish over here. And it's all done with volunteers. From my perspective, not so much the fact of what it produces, but the volunteers who are involved in it, pedagogically recall that part of scripture, and it becomes more inherited, if you will.
Absolutely. Well, Bob, I hate to interrupt you really quick. We're going to have to take one more quick break, and we'll be back in just one quick second.
Art Lewis here for Thalen Honda, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. And as you know, new vehicle supplies are very low. So I suggest you stop into Thalen Honda to secure a new Honda on order while you can. And with gas prices where they are, remember that Honda was ranked first among all full-line automakers in the 2021 EPA report at 29.1 miles per gallon, 3.7 miles per gallon higher than the industry average for the 2020 model year. Plus, the 2022 Honda Civic won the prestigious North American Car of the Year award. And in addition, the Honda Ridgeline was ranked first among the longest-lasting trucks. Visit Thalen Honda on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City today to see what's in the pipeline. Reserve the car of your dreams before it's too late. By the way, if you're looking to move up with a pre-owned vehicle, the Thalen dealerships have one of the largest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region, all inspected and ready for immediate delivery. Check them out online at thinkthalen.com. The Thalen family's been serving your automotive needs for over 45 years.
I'm retired Army Colonel Martin Blank, and I'm a Republican running for the state Senate. I'm not a politician, I'm a soldier. And I'm running for the state Senate because Lansing career politicians are failing our families. Average families can't afford groceries. Gas is heading towards $6 a gallon, and many of our neighbors are struggling to pay their mortgages or rent. The economy no longer works for people like us, and Lansing career politicians are doing nothing about it. It's time for a change, to go in a new direction. We've had enough of Lansing career politicians and their broken promises. It's time to put state government back on your side. I'm proud of my military service, the 23 years I spent serving you and protecting your interests. And as your state senator, I'll protect your interests once again. This is Martin Blank, Republican candidate for state Senate. I ask for your vote on August 2nd. Thanks for listening.
Paid for by Martin Blank for state Senate.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Salon Blue. You are going to get a shampoo, cut, and a deep condition for only $40. You must book an appointment with this deal. Walk-ins are not available. All of the service providers at Salon Blue are fully licensed through the state of Michigan. Call 989-772-8898 or visit salonblue.com. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis and the Art Lewis Show. We are talking with Bob Began of the Chateau Chantel in Mission Peninsula, which is just 13 or 14 miles north of Traverse City. Bob, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
I would love for you to share with what makes your particular establishment different than the others. When you come up in the area, there are a number of vineyards, wineries that are there. What makes you unique to the area?
Well, obviously, the cosmic beauty that this whole peninsula is. In fact, I mentioned that artwork that at the bottom of it, she expresses a geological phenomena supposedly happened 12 to 15,000 years ago, and probably multiple times over the ages that go back to the Big Bang, if you would. But it's pudding stone that these mile-high glaciers pressed harder stones into, and she displays that event and that carved out the Great Lakes and the beautiful terroir out here that is so beautiful. In that expression. And I think, but in addition to that, I think when people come here as guests, it's not like walking into Kroger's or Myers in a sense. Our middle staff, especially, they've been here. Liz, for example, has been here 30 years this year, worked here. And the middle staff is all 15 to 20 years experience. And they press on to their subordinates a sense of treating guests as family. You know, you're here to enjoy this. And I think that people feel welcome in addition to wanting to enjoy the views, etc.
I'll tell you when I came in, the hospitality was it was great. I felt like I was at home. It was a very casual atmosphere. And I want to say that we were looking for restaurants and things to do in the area. And they were so helpful in terms of making those things happen and pointing us in the right direction, providing maps and anything that we needed. It was essentially a carefree experience for me to come up, someone who was just looking for an opportunity to unwind, to be able to come up and just kind of have everything taken care of. It was an amazing experience. I want to say thank you for that. But in addition, I got to talk to you about, because I was there, and for the breakfast, they served at breakfast the most amazing dessert. And so when I thought about the carrot cake, that is one of the things, what I consider the 4 stars of the Chateau Chantel, was the carrot cake. Tell us, your chef or the lady, the cook who prepared it. She's been there for a while. I did have an opportunity to share a little bit about her and her experiences at the vineyard.
Well, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. My wife, Nadine, was a Felician nun out of Livonia at Metanoia University, and she had a master's degree at Wayne State University in home economics, where they don't teach that anymore, but I think they should.
It's a dying art.
In any event, yeah, and in fact, she spent a few years just not far from where you live there, but in Bay City at St. Stanislaus, teaching, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, she started all the cooking here for the first 20 years or thereabouts. And one of the things that she became popular for, and we still use every morning at breakfast, and that's brown sugared bacon.
Yeah, delicious.
And it lures people out because the scent, if breakfast is at 8:30, if you're walking in a hall at 8:45 or at 8:45, you smell it. And you say, oh boy, I can hardly wait. But the other, I'm not sure which lady, maybe Jen, with that particular cake, or I don't remember my wife cooking carrot cake. That she may well have. She wrote a book that has the recipes of life in it, and it's full of that kind of thing. I'm sure carrot cake is probably part of it.
Man, it was absolutely amazing. So I want to really quickly. Now, I will tell those who are listening. When I came up, there was, your prices are not, you're not paying to stay at the Holiday Inn. As you talked about, a part of the ambiance is really just the views, the breathtaking views. But I would say that every penny for a special occasion, for, wedding anniversary, for people coming up to just celebrate something special, the Chateau provides an amazing experience and a backdrop for a very special occasion. Just really quickly, how can people connect with you? How can they get a hold of the Chateau? How can they make reservations?
Well, essentially, I think if you just go to chateauchantal.com, that'll lead you into whatever you need to know eventually, the websites and so forth. chateauchantal.com. Chantal, by the way, as I mentioned, is a hyphenated first name of my daughter, Marie Chantal. And that's not far removed from Carlene.
Is that correct?
Well, the words that come into my mind the last few years, I guess, as I look back over 80 of them, is metanoia. It's a Greek-derived word meaning change in life, especially spiritual change. And in your own case, I think Carlene, among other places, it's multiple places, I think, it has a Greek derivative as well. And it conveys the idea of beloved. And Chantal is just the same. It means enchanting, beloved.
That's absolutely beautiful. In Arabic, which is where my family derived my name, generous, noble. Bob, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to encourage those that are listening to please check out Chateau Chantel. You can check it out online. This has been a wonderful conversation. We got to let you go. We're going to tune into another hour coming up pretty soon. We'll be back in just a quick second to let you know what you can expect. Thank you very much, Bob. We look forward to seeing you again this year as I come up to another visit of Chateau Chantel.
Looking for a tasty meal with drinks and fun? Come to Knollview Golf Course. We are open to the public with the best outdoor patio bar on the Sunrise side. Enjoy happy hour at the Final Pour Gazebo Bar on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday from 2 to 5. Enjoy steak, salmon, chicken, or shrimp on the grill, as well as outdoor music Fridays and Saturdays. Bikers welcome. Delicious lunch menu. You don't have to be a golfer to have fun at Knollview Golf Course. Check us out on 23 and All Gray or online at knollviewgolf.com. See you this summer.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Summer is in full swing, and the deals are heating up at Lowe's. Shop our 4th of July savings, where you'll find everything you need for your summer gatherings. Get party ready with select patio and seasonal decor, now up to 40% off. And spark those summer cookouts with our special buy Master Forge grill for just $128, valued at $169. Find more savings this 4th of July at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Valid 6/23 through 7/6 while supplies last.
Good morning. This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in today and sticking with me as we get through the things that we're talking about today. We had an amazing conversation with Bob Biggin, who is the owner of the Chateau Chantel. And coming up in this next hour after the news, we're going to have a really great conversation with 2 groups of individuals. The first person, we're going to have Sandra Ware, who's going to talk a little bit her impacting communities with technology. And we're going to talk about the Juneteenth Queens. They'll be with us shortly after.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. All eyes are on the Supreme Court, which could overturn Roe v. Wade as soon as today or tomorrow and hand down rulings on other controversial issues. Correspondent Stacey Lynn is in Washington.
At this hour, the justices are just beginning to hand down decisions. There are still over a dozen cases they have to rule on, cases that could alter the political landscape on abortion, gun control, and the environment. The High Court will also rule on a Trump-era immigration policy and school prayer.
A leaked draft draft opinion suggested the conservative majority is ready to ban abortions. Former top Justice Department officials are expected to testify at today's public hearing in Congress' January 6th investigation. CBS's Robert Costa from Capitol Hill.
We also expect to hear dramatic testimony about a showdown in the Oval Office on January 3rd, 2021, when several officials warned the former president that they and others would resign if he pushed them too far.
President Biden's being met with resistance from Republicans and Democrats alike in his bid to pause the federal 18-cent a gallon gas tax. Drivers still struggling to pay at the pump. CBS's Jim Crisula.
AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas fell overnight to $4.94. Still, some people are changing their ways, according to oil analyst Phil Flynn.
There is no doubt that a certain segment of the population is cutting back. You know, they're not topping off their tank. They're a little bit more frugal when it comes to their gasoline purchases.
We have a fresh read on the jobs market. The Labor Department says applications for unemployment benefits fell a little last week by 2,000. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick.
Jobless claims are still low from a historical perspective, and the nation's official unemployment rate is still near its pre-pandemic low, most recently at 3.6%.
It's shaping up to be another hot, sticky day in the Deep South. Meteorologist Craig Allen with our affiliate WCBS.
Through central and southern Georgia along the I-75 and I-16 corridor, the heat may approach 105 to 110 degrees. That's actual temperatures. That's not even including the humidity, which will push the heat index above the 110-degree mark.
Heat advisories posted all the way west to Texas. First at the Westminster Dog Show.
History is made. Trumpet with the upset.
Fox Sports rolling as the first bloodhound took best in show. The 4-year-old with red hair and floppy ears, a wrinkled face, beat out more than 3,500 other dogs. His handler calls him a goofball with a lot of attitude and a little bit of crazy. Dow up 99. This is CBS News.
Hiring's a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle. Win a share of $50,000 cash at this scorching June Fever giveaway with 5 winners every Friday night for up to $3,500. On Saturdays, it's the Your Adventure Awaits RV giveaway. Win $3,000 in premium play each hour or the grand prize, a new RV on June 25th. Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Here at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find, especially our totally low prices. I'm firing up the grill for burgers and want to impress the neighbors. This bourbon has a smoky flavor that'll go great with your grilling. Nice! Wow, and look at that price. Well done. I prefer medium rare. Your neighbors will love it. Love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Pickup and delivery available at TotalWine.com. Drink responsibly, B21.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to find savings. But you may have more cash than you realize in your home's equity. Unlock it today with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could get all that cash in as little as 3 weeks. Put your hard-earned money to work. Pay down high-interest debt and combine your balances into one simple, low monthly payment. Now is your perfect opportunity to take control of your financial future. So what are you waiting for? When you want to consolidate debt and simplify your finances, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com. Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Sunny skies and 70 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchup. A plan to temporarily suspend the federal gas and diesel tax is under consideration in Congress. The plan would suspend the 18.4 cents per gallon gas tax and 24.4 cents per gallon diesel tax through September. State Representative Annette Glenn says it's a start in helping Michigan residents save money at the pump, but more needs to be done.
We should not be waiting on Congress to take action. We have the power to take immediate and meaningful action at the state level. In fact, it should have been done already.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer has vetoed 3 separate bills in which state Republicans say would have provided tax relief at the gas pump. Early Medical Center in Flint has been evaluated by the American College of Surgeons regarding its trauma care capabilities and institutional performance. The organization found Hurley exceeds essential criteria. The hospital has the northernmost level 1 trauma center and one of only 4 level 2 pediatric trauma centers in Michigan. 1,800 patients a year rely on Hurley's trauma care to save their lives. A level 1 trauma center has a trauma surgeon in-house 24/7, eliminating any delay waiting for a surgeon to arrive. The center also has a team of specialists such as orthopedic surgeons, plastic surgeons, hand surgeons, and more to assist in dealing with complex injuries seen in trauma patients. Having close access to a trauma center can reduce the risk of dying by 25%. Get your paper towels and hand wipes ready because barbecue is back in Bay City this summer. In 2013, the city's iconic Labadee Pig Gig came to an end after nearly 2 decades. Now the food festival returns under a new name, Labadee Rib Fest. From July 28th through the 31st, vendors, concerts, and family entertainment will take place in Bay City's Veterans Memorial Park, and of course, ribs of all types and flavors. The volunteer-operated event will donate proceeds to local charities. For tickets or more information, visit BayCityRibFest.com or the Labadee Ribfest Facebook page. WSGW News Time 10:07.
The WSGW Team Show.
The WSW online poll with Russia's war against Ukraine, and we have athletes and performers being banned because of the continued sanctions and boycotts that are against the country, and the aspect of the Russian athletes and entertainers perhaps representing the country in a positive way. Some are saying it shouldn't happen. So Wimbledon is not going to allow athletes to play. U.S. Open tennis will. Russian players in the NHL won't be allowed to bring the Stanley Cup to the country. There's just some examples. Some supporters of this action say it's appropriate, especially if these individuals aren't denouncing Vladimir Putin. These Russian athletes and entertainers are saying, we've got family, and how can we stand Putin with our family still there in Russia? So our poll question, what do you think? Should entertainers be banned from competitions and events around the world because of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia? Would you say yes? Doesn't matter the circumstances. Would you say yes unless the person will speak out against the invasion? No, action should not be taken against individual athletes and entertainers, or you're not sure. You go to WSW.com, you can scroll on the homepage and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
WSGW News Times 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. It's been a month since a tornado ravaged Gifford, killing 2 people and injuring 44 others. Many homes and businesses were destroyed and damaged, according to Otsego County Emergency Manager and EMS Chief John Deming.
We're still moving along. Supply chain and labor forces to get people to fix stuff is still out there. Homes are being fixed. Other homes that are destroyed are being torn down.
Deming says the Nottingham Forest Mobile Home Park is trying to reestablish itself after many mobile homes were destroyed. He says they are short on housing. Clear skies this week should allow stargazers a rare view of a planetary alignment. The 5 planets visible to the naked eye, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, will be spread across the eastern sky in the hours just before dawn over the next few days, aligned in order of their distance from the sun. The waning moon will also be part of the alignment. The last time these planets clustered together all at once was in December 2004 and aren't expected to do so again until 2040. The alignment should even be visible in urban areas with higher light pollution. Uranus and Neptune will also be aligned in the same area, but their distance from the sun will require viewers to use binoculars or a telescope to see them. Mercury will only be able to be seen just above the horizon for a few minutes until June 27th. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly sunny skies here for today with a high into the lower 80s. Winds out of the north around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tonight, mostly clear sky conditions, a low around 59. By Friday, sunshine, a high around 90 degrees. Saturday, mostly sunny sky conditions and a high around 91. By Sunday, a slight chance for rain, cloudy skies, high of 86 degrees. Then by Monday, mostly sunny, a high around 76. Tuesday, sunshine, high of 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast.
Currently, it's 71.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Kareem Bowen, and I'm sitting in the stead of Art Lewis today on the Art Lewis Show. We are excited to have you with us on today, and I'm glad to be here in this space. We're going to bring into a conversation. There is a young lady who hails from Detroit, Michigan. She has worked with the Pistons. She's done player management, the Lions, and also radio, John. So she's coming for your job as well. I want to bring her in. Her name is Sandra Ware, and she is the executive director and founder of the Powered to Dream Foundation. And I want to just say, hey, welcome, Sandra. How are you today?
Doing phenomenal. How are you this morning?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. I'm excited. I'm here sitting in the seat of who I am a crazy fan of, Art Lewis, sitting in his stead today. But I wanted to have a conversation with you because you're doing some amazing things. I was going to say in Detroit, but you're really doing amazing things across the country with Powered to Dream. What is Powered to Dream?
So Power to Dream is my foundation. It started off as an initiative back in 2013. So you mentioned that I worked with the Pistons, so I started in sports. I like to call it a divine pivot in 2012, where I made the pivot from sports to just more so STEM and working with schools. I saw just kind of like a gap, if you will. I saw students being excited about opportunities to play professional sports and just the excitement that you would feel in the arena and stadiums as young people, and even I called them adults, but big kids at heart. They would just get excited cheering on these players. And rightfully so. Sports is exciting, but I saw there was like a gap in education where our students were not as excited around math and science, and our parents weren't showing up as I felt that they could and should for different robotics tournaments. But when we would have that conversation around sports, it was a little different. So I just felt in my heart, how could I make a shift in terms of getting students excited about math and science and bring that same level of energy as they would to basketball or football or hockey or whatever that sport is. And I played sports. I played basketball in high school. My mother played, my grandma played. So sports runs through my blood. But with that, I wanted to see students just as excited, to see their eyes light up when it came to science and math. So in 2013, I had the opportunity to host my very first technology camp in the city of Detroit, and that's where Power to Dream was birthed. So we had robotics, we had a rocket launch, we had again, robotics competition, math, coding, you name it, we had it. And I saw our parents, our grandparents come out in droves to support these young people. And I wanted to give it an exciting feel. So have music. I partnered with Microsoft, and they were gracious enough to host an innovation area. So just around breakfast, students were able to, play Xbox, and they were able to engage in Microsoft's newest technologies around their phones, around their Surface tablets, everything. So I said, you know what? I think we're on to something here. And Forbes actually wrote a story, to my surprise, called Detroit Youth Are Powered to Dream. And from there, it's, been a game changer. So
I am so excited. We started off our connection together, both of us in sports. And when we made the transition, I remember you calling me saying, hey, Kareem, I'm going to do technology and young people. And I think it was probably in 2012. And I was like going from sports to technology. And it was really, really interesting. But you drew me into that space. And I remember that very first Power to Dream camp that you did, that tech camp. And I brought Draymond Green down, and he was blown away at the level we came in. There were cheerleaders. The stands were packed with parents and younger siblings who wanted to be a part of that. And I said, you know, I recognized in that moment that you were really onto something big. You have been doing some amazing things here in the city of Saginaw. And even though you're a Detroit native, I always tell people that we are blessed to be able to have you coming and working with us here in the city of Saginaw. And we've been able to partner up to do some amazing things. So when you see when you see the city of Saginaw, when you look at our young people and you what's out there, what are the things that you think are necessary for our community's youth to really be able to function at the level that some of the top schools around the country are functioning at?
Well, first of all, let me just say that I absolutely love the city of Saginaw, and I love the young people that I've had an opportunity to work with. And what I can say is there are really just some geniuses right there in the midst. And just if you can cultivate just those young minds, there are a number of innovators, entrepreneurs, developers, engineers, just game changers across the board. And I think it's the investment that has to be made. Again, when you expose young people to robotics, when you expose them to artificial intelligence, just the new technologies, even around NFTs, and you start to cultivate some of your graphic designers and start to give them opportunities. We saw it last year. Hemlock's Semiconductor, they were gracious enough to sponsor a summer camp, and which included solar energy. And just what those young people were able to do, just even in under 2 weeks, in terms of collaboration, design thinking, presentation, and taking it to the next level. I just think it's more of the investment. Again, I mentioned Hemlock Semiconductor. I have to mention Dow, just with their investment into young people through the Dow Treasure Academy, and not just with a one-time initiative, but just seeing those young people through over the course of 3 and 4 years. So now you get a chance to, again, continue to add and cultivate, giving them more exposure and opportunities, not just to new technologies, but also helping them around just the basics of coding, computational thinking, also expanding upon leadership development, those soft skills, because a lot of times you'll find even with technology companies that are hiring, they're saying, hey, we want the developers, we want the engineers. But when it comes to that interviewing portion, there's a miss because people are not properly prepared just even for that interviewing process. So working with our students, even in creative writing, and being able to properly express themselves as well. So, and understanding that sometimes students learn differently, and giving them out of classroom experiences where they're able to build, where they're able to collaborate. Collaboration is everything now. Even the workspaces are different. When you go to some of the high tech companies, it's not just your 4 white walls. There's colors, there's different amenities that are provided for the employees. Again, you want to attract talent, but you also need to retain talent as well. And companies are investing in young people even on the high school level in terms of junior developers. So just making sure that students across all cities have access, again, to top tier education, those opportunities where it's coming through regular programming in school or after school camps, those job shadowing opportunities, those speed mentoring opportunities, and getting to know people who are actually in these spaces. So again, everything is access and opportunity.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more Sandra Ware.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Everyone, and I mean good morning. An absolutely beautiful day, and I can't think of a better day than to be out at a nursery, and we are. We're at Maple Hill Nursery at 2672 Northeastman Road, just a couple of miles north of the Midland Mall, where today we are not only celebrating summer, but we're taking a look forward to the 4th of July weekend. And we know a lot of you will want to spend some time outdoors, whether it's preparing things in your backyard, maybe taking a quick trip up to the cabin or someplace, but you are going to be outdoors and you will be enjoying all of Mother Nature's finest. And I can't think of a better way to enjoy Mother Nature's finest this summer than to have an absolutely gorgeous patio furniture display in your backyard. Now is the time to come to Maple Hill because they've got some pretty good pricing right now just in time for the 4th of July holiday. So stop by. They've got inventory here too, and they do deliver. Maple Hill Nursery in Midland. More coming up.
If you're in the market for a new home or your dream home, go with a lender you can count on for competitive rates. Over 300 loan products and thousands of loan consultants to help make sure you get the home and the mortgage that you want. Call now to see if you're pre-approved. 866-888-LOAN. 866-888-LOAN. Or go to LoanDepot.com. Loan Depot, where home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kareem Bowen sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show. We have with us Sandra Ware of Power to Dream Foundation. Sandra, I want you to just really share. We just came off of Man Code, Microsoft Man Code, and you are so integral in bringing those students and giving them some amazing experience. How can people reach out to you? And first of all, share a little bit of what Man Code is, and then I want people to know how they can reach out and connect with you in terms of your initiative to empower the world and to empower them to dream.
Sure. So Man Code is a technology conference for boys of color, 3rd through 12th grade. It was started in 2017 by Shy Avery, who's also from Detroit, and she works for Microsoft. And that was her initiative to make sure that boys were, again, exposed to just those technology careers. They were also exposed to financial literacy, so empowerment workshops. So there is a huge effort to, again, attract girls and women to tech careers, and rightfully so, because there is a huge gap and disparity there. But certainly we want to make sure that we're getting everyone involved and that everyone has access to these amazing opportunities that are presented in the space of STEM and technology for this particular Man Code conference. So it's a national initiative It's a full day. So literally from 8 a.m. until 3. So just bringing in boys from across the state of Michigan. We were honored to have students from Saginaw, Flint, Pontiac as well. And of course, Detroit attend last week's conference, which was a huge success. So from the drones flying around to the robots just going all around the hallways, I mean, I think everyone was active to even again, just hands-on when you talk about just design. We know our young people love sneakers. So to be able to hear from a gentleman who's an engineer with one of the top footwear companies in the world on the planet, to go over what that looks like in terms of designing a shoe and breaking that down, I was pretty special. I even heard back feedback from the parents on that workshop. So yeah, that's the conference. So shout out to Shy Averett and Microsoft.
So how can people get in touch with Sandra Ware and Power to Dream?
Sure. My website is poweredtodream.com. So that is powered with an ED at the end to dream.com. So POWEREDTODREAM.com.
All right. I certainly want to thank you for your time this morning and sharing and making this world a more tech-savvy world. You are doing an amazing job. And once again, on behalf of all of Saginaw County, I want to say thank you for lending your time, your talents, and your treasure. It's been real. For those of you who are going to continue in our conversation, thank you, Ms. Ware. For those of you who are going to continue in our conversation on today, I have some amazing, they are beauties of their own, but they put together the very first ever Juneteenth pageant here for the city of Saginaw. For those of you who are not aware, Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom. It is when those individuals who are yet enslaved, even though the Emancipation Proclamation of January 1st, 1863 had been signed, there were still swaths of African Americans who were in the South that were still slaves. Why were they still slaves after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation? It's because they were free labor, and many of those plantation owners did not want to give up on that free labor. But rolling into down June 19th, our Sergeant Gordon, or General Gordon, comes in with order number 3 of the Emancipation Proclamation, reading it to those slaves in Galveston, Texas, ordering thereby their freedom. And since that time, they have been celebrating in Galveston, and now it is a national holiday. And we had our very first celebration here in the city of Saginaw. I am blessed to have with me in the studio Miss Renee Morris and Miss Linda Jackson. How are you ladies doing today?
Doing well. Thank you.
Doing well. Thank you. That's it. Doing well. Thank you.
Yes, I'm blessed. I'm blessed too.
Okay. Have you all had the opportunity to recover? Because you all came out with a very tall order. You heard me talking about it on radio. I heard you guys come up with something. We connected somewhere in the middle, and you guys have been running ever since to make this happen. I'll tell you, all of the naysayers are saying they're doing too much. They're doing too much. But for this Juneteenth weekend, and you made a weekend out of it, you had a Juneteenth pageant, which we have some of the pageant queens in the house today. You had a Juneteenth parade, which was fabulous, and then followed up with a Sunday church celebration where we honored fathers, 3-on-3 tournaments, so many great things going on. Renee, how do you feel post all of this Juneteenth celebration?
Oh, I'm elated. Everything turned out great. It was a lot of hard work, but the results it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah, it was all worth it.
All right. So when we think about this, everyone's like, what's a Juneteenth pageant queen? You had a pageant with some wonderful young ladies we're going to have an opportunity to meet and talk with on today. Why was that so important for you to do that?
To include the young people, young women in the celebration, and to educate about Juneteenth and our history.
You are a history buff. Why are you so into Juneteenth? Why is Juneteenth so important to you? I know we have Independence Day. For someone who says we have Independence Day, why do we need Juneteenth? What would you say?
Oh, well, because Juneteenth encompasses all of our history. In other words, since 1865, everything that has happened up until June 19th of 2020 20, when President Biden made it a national holiday, is all a part of Juneteenth.
You know, Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So what you're saying is until we all free, we're still enslaved.
That's right.
And so Juneteenth is not a Black holiday, it's not an African-American or African descendants of slave holiday. It is an American holiday.
Yes.
And so we should all celebrate that. All right, Ms. Jackson, you are running hard shotgun in this whole celebration. What do you take away from this moment of celebration as one of your greatest moments, your greatest highlights?
Seeing the smile on people's face. That was a treasure. When we had Carlene Gill come back in town and celebrate with us, it brought tears and joy to people that didn't know her and those that did know her, and especially to her. She felt like a queen.
And for those who are listening, you know, it was interesting because Dave Maurer, who is responsible for this particular station, he came in and said, Kareem, man, you know, everything went, you know, for the first time, things went extremely well. He said he had an opportunity to tune into the parade and he was really impressed. For those of you who don't know, Carlene Gill, she was the grand marshal for the parade. And many people were like, why Carlene Gill? When you listen to her history and you look at her history, and you guys gave her an amazing commemoration plaque with her images when she was a dancer and an entertainer. She used to perform up in, those of you go up north, and I know that this audience does, as you go north, Baldwin, Michigan. There's a place called Idlewild, and Idlewild was a community where folks from Detroit who had a significant amount of money and resources, who wanted to be a part of the country clubs and could not, went and settled and bought land around a lake. And they created their own yacht club, if you would. The Detroit Yacht Club is up there, and they had entertainment and entertainers. And it was so amazing and such a great part of our history that Andre 3000, who is a very popular rap star these days, was in a movie called Idlewild. And she is a part of that legacy. So you honored her for her commitment and her contribution to Black America. Not to mention the very first Black-owned beauty and barber school. Y'all probably don't know what we talk about when we talk about Jerry Curl, but if you knew something about that in the back, and back in the day, you know, she used to do the Jerry Curls and the perms and those different types of things, working with textured hair. So it's very important. So we're going to get in just a quick second here some of these women into this conversation. The Juneteenth pageant, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. You had judges, a great cross section of judges that were here in the community. Why and what was the most important about this pageant? Why was this so important to really reach out to these young women and let them know that they were queens?
To create a platform for self-improvement, self-awareness, sisterhood, and also community service.
Community service.
Yes.
So when you say community service, because I do understand that these young women, this is the beginning of their reign. They are going to be really doing some work in community organizations. Tell us what we can expect, areas of impact for these young women.
Each girl was a winner this year. They were crowned and sash. And moving forward, each girl will select a charity to be an advocate for. There's like 3 or 4. I have Interlink, the NAACP, Sickle Cell, Saginaw Valley University, one for education, and also one for financial literacy.
And so they will be working in our community, making an impact for their entire reign. Now, in addition to, because we've talked about this, we'll be working, you have a number of young entrepreneurs. And I've had an opportunity to speak with some of them. And so they have, you know, they've been hit by the entrepreneurship bug. And so we're going to work with them on building brands. How do you build a business? All of those key things. I'm excited that you guys have asked this young, mature, debonair young man to be a part of this process. And I want to thank you guys for your commitment and your dedication. What should people do if they want to get involved? Because this was such an amazing success. If they want to be a part of what these Juneteenth celebrations are for next year, how should they get a hold of you?
You can call me at 989-906-4259. I will be posting on the Saginaw Juneteenth page on Facebook and working on a website.
All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the pageant queens themselves. Stay tuned.
The fundraisers are done. The time has come to party. Join us now through Sunday. It's the 72nd Annual St. Stan's Polish Festival. Plenty of bands, 4 fun-filled days of polka music, along with homemade Polish and American food, games for all ages, including cornhole, raffles, an 80 by 210-foot entertainment tent with a 40 by 80-foot dance floor, and the Skirbeck Family Carnival in its amazing Midway. Where? 2501 John Solinsky Drive, Bay City. Visit us on Facebook for the band lineups and all the special events, including Kids Day on Saturday. The 72nd Annual St. Stan's Polish Festival going on now through Sunday.
A lot goes into keeping a precision operation moving. The inputs you choose have to deliver results. Delaro Complete Fungicide from Bayer offers unmatched consistency and the most complete disease control available. Your corn and soybeans are protected and yields higher even in unpredictable conditions. With Delaro Complete, you get results you can count on to help keep your precision operation running smoothly. Always read and follow label instructions. To learn more, visit delarocomplete.us today.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Inflation is truly wicked. It's like the government taking money directly from your bank account. This is Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe you can fight inflation with a gold IRA. To explain how gold IRAs work, my friends at Birch Gold have published a free info kit explaining everything. To get your copy, text the word safeguard to 989898. It's free and there's no obligation.
Texting enrolls for automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
The final wing is ahead of schedule.
Slater's construction company has built a solid reputation.
Yeah, foundation looks great. Let's get a team in place for analysis.
Now they need structural engineers to support their business expansion.
We should have engineers in-house. That would put us ahead of the competition.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Parents, it's time to cross off life insurance from your to-do list. With Fabric, protecting your family with great term life insurance is easy, fast, all online, and affordable. Fabric's policies start at less than $1 a day. You could be approved on the spot with no health exam and no risk. Cancel anytime. Stop putting it off. Apply today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life. Not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
This is Kareem Bowen here with the Art Lewis Show, sitting in for Art Lewis. And as I promised before that commercial break, I told you that we would be sitting in with 2 of the pageant queens from the Miss Juneteenth Pageant that took place on last week. And I have with me to my immediate right, or I guess to your screen, I'm not sure, Miss Jordan Thomas. Jordan, just wave to the people out there so those who are in social media land know who you are. Look at that regal wave as she waves. Jordan is a ham. And I also have with us as well Miss Neve Naylor. Welcome, Neve. All right. So, ladies, Miss Jordan, you have had an opportunity, and we also have one other individual that is in our social media stream out there, Zariah Simon. And Zariah Simon was actually our Juneteenth queen. There you are, Zariah. Look at those waves, ladies. Let's give that social media wave out there. All right. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. I want to start right here because, Jordan, I want to start with you. You are not only the junior queen, but I would consider you Miss Congeniality. You have a personality that is the size of Texas.
Thank you.
I want you guys to know, and I love it. When we were out there and she was introducing herself on Sunday, I said, "Hey, are you ready?" Because I'm thinking she's a little nervous. She was like, "I was born ready." I was like, "All right then, Miss Jordan." So tell me a little bit about the Miss June pageant, Juneteenth pageant. Why did you want to be a part of it, and what did it mean to you?
It's because like I like to be involved with stuff like pageants, and I always wanted to be in a pageant. And my favorite subject in school is like history, especially Black history. So that's why I want to be impact with Juneteenth.
So it brought together the two things that you love, pageantry and history. Nevaeh over there, Nevaeh, excuse me. It's heaven spelled backwards, Nevaeh. Nevaeh, tell me, what was your experience like in the Miss Juneteenth pageant?
My experience in the Miss Juneteenth pageant, it was actually surprising because I didn't expect us to do poems and talents. I thought we were just like learning and then walking down the stage, but it was like way more than that, and it influenced me that I am Black and beautiful.
All right, it's important because so many images and things that you see don't reflect. Young Black and brown girls don't see those images as often as we should. I think the tide is turning on that, and we're seeing a lot of that. So if I were to give you a statement, and I'm going to come to you, Miss Pageant Queen Zariah, please just sit there and look beautiful as you are, okay? If I were to give you a statement, I'd say, my Black is, how would you finish that statement?
My Black is beautiful and proud and joyful.
Awesome. What about you, Nevaeh?
My Black is unique, beautiful, and smart.
That is so amazing. I want to thank you guys for sitting in, and I feel so honored to be able to have your first official interview here. And we're sharing this time with you on WSGW. I want to bring Zariah. Zariah, you are, in fact, the pageant queen, the big winner, right? The big girl, the big young lady, excuse me. I want to say welcome, first of all, to WSGW. This is the Art Lewis Show, and I'm sitting in. But I want to welcome you to WSGW and just say congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you are the winner. You represent Juneteenth now for an entire year. What does that mean to you?
It means that I am the face of our Black African freedom. And it means a lot to me because I've never actually been in a pageant. This is my first pageant, and to win and be a face for all Black people out there, it's an amazing feeling.
All right. So you are now, as you said, the face of Juneteenth. What does it mean to be the face? You said the face of Juneteenth, the face of Black freedom. What does that mean to you as a person? When you say that you represent Black freedom for Saginaw, Michigan, that's a huge undertaking. Are you afraid of that responsibility? How are you taking this in stride?
I am putting in a lot of work to start a Juneteenth brand so I can make shirts and stuff for Juneteenth. I'm trying my best to be out in the community as much as possible and be out there showing my face. It means a lot to be the face for all Blacks because sometimes we can't speak out for ourselves, and to be the person that speaks out for everybody is a great feeling because not all people want to stand up for themselves all the time. So that would be my job, to stand up for you if you're not okay with talking out for yourself.
Okay, wonderful. Now you ladies have a responsibility and a role. You represent freedom of Blacks for your community. All right. I know that you guys have different things that you're passionate about. Nevaeh, what are you passionate about as a young woman?
Something I'm passionate about as a woman is how I'm different than other people. Like, I'm not what you call an ordinary person. Like, I am overgoing. I plan things before they happen. I plan my outfits for like the whole week. So I like how I'm different.
How you're different. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back. We're going to find out what is unique about Miss Jordan as well. Stick and stay. Don't go away.
As golfers, we want more distance, more accuracy, more birdies, pars, and one putts. What if I told you that you can get all of that and more for less during your next golf getaway? Now with 90 holes of golf at one resort, Shanty Creek Resort is bigger and better. Discover a new golf mecca in Bel Air with all the more you need. Variety, quality, and quantity with customizable stay and play packages accommodating every group and budget. When you're ready for more, we'll be here to welcome you at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
Designed for any room and any climate. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Solid-Tech Luxury Vinyl Flooring from Mohawk offers unmatched durability with a range of stylish hardwood and tile visuals in multiple sizes and widths for maximum design flexibility. 100% waterproof, stain, and scratch resistant, your kids and pets are no match for Solid-Tech. Come in and let our design team help you select the floor that you have always wanted. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Annette Glenn believes defunding police is radical and dangerous. Michigan's murder rate, 14th highest in the nation. Violent crime, above the national average. Annette Glenn backed more funding for police to keep us safe. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Inflation is truly wicked. It's like the government taking money directly from your bank account. This is Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe you can fight inflation with a gold IRA. To explain how gold IRAs work, my friends at Birch Gold have published a free info kit explaining everything. To get your copy, text the word safeguard to 989898. It's free and there's no obligation.
Texting enrolls for automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Talking all about the really nice weather that we're going to be looking at here for the next several days. Hardly a chance of rain anywhere. Well, that's good for us because it allows us to get outside and enjoy it. But maybe for our plants, maybe for our garden, might not be the best thing. You know, those plants could stand a nice drink. Well, the experts here at Maple Hill are more than happy to help you with your concerns. Whatever questions you might have, and who knows, you might be having some bug problems, some disease problems. The folks at Maple Hill can take care of you because they are, first and foremost, a nursery. And they've got an excellent selection of stock available right now for you to decorate around your home and around your patio. And that's the other thing. Patio furniture. They have one of the largest displays of outdoor furnishings that you'll find anywhere. Now's the time to check them out. You can go to their Facebook, you can go online to Maple Hill Midland, or better yet, just stop by 2672 Northeastman Road, just a couple miles north of the Midland Mall. We'll be back with more next hour.
The final wing is ahead of schedule.
Slater's Construction Company has built a solid reputation.
Yeah, foundation looks great. Let's get a team in place for analysis.
Now they need structural engineers to support their business expansion.
We should have engineers in-house. That would put us ahead of the competition.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by conducting interviews on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Good morning. This is Kareem Bowen once again sitting in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show, and we have the Juneteenth Pageant Queens with us here. Before the break, I promised you that Miss Congeniality, who I have dubbed myself, she is a ball of fresh air and a ball of entertainment. Miss Jordan Thomas, you were going to share with us what makes you unique as a young woman. Why are you unique?
It's because I'm not afraid to speak up. And I'm not afraid when somebody talks about me because I stand up for myself. And some people don't do that.
All right. So it's important for you all. It sounds like you got an anti-bullying campaign going on. I'm not only going to stand up for myself, I'm going to stand up for everyone else. Mm-hmm. So what are your platforms? You guys are going to have some platforms that you're going to be working with, some organizations. What do you guys hope to be working with? Which groups? I know that there is Interlink, there is the rescue mission, there's all of these different things that are going on. what do you hope you'll be assigned to as a part of your reign for Juneteenth? And I'm going to go with you first, Zariah. Where do you hope that you'll be planted as a part of your official capacity as Juneteenth? Which organizations?
When you say, can you elaborate on that? Because I'm confused a little.
Well, I know that when you were running for queen, you said that you wanted to really work with some things with the homeless in the community. And I was just wondering, as a part of your platform, what area in the community would you really like to work with and get involved in?
Oh, okay. So some of the things I really want to do is help with food. That's something I really want to do because nobody should have to go to sleep on an empty stomach, in my opinion. Because I wouldn't like to go to sleep on an empty stomach, so I feel like nobody else should too.
So, and you know that I'm not sure if you're aware, but Saginaw is what we call a food desert. So finding nutritional foods is a serious issue. So if you can handle that, that would be great. What about you, Nevaeh? What issue do you want to conquer? What is it that you want to do with your reign as one of the beautiful pageant queens?
Well, one of the things I want to work with is NAACP throughout the Juneteenth to, help people with my other Juneteenth contested.
Okay, I'll tell you this. This is an election year, and the NAACP will definitely take any help that they can. And I hope that you would really encourage young people to get involved with the political process. So many times we're looking and we're saying we need new leaders. We need new leaders. And Nevaeh, if your area of interest is going to be the NAACP, I'm going to make a pressing request that you really do so by getting other young people involved with the voting processes, understanding what it's about. They may not be able to vote at this time, but if they understand the process, they'll more likely find themselves as candidates on the ballot, and we would be able to create some new leaders in our community. So keep that in mind, okay? Jordan, what is it that you're going to make? What are you going to make happen, Jordan? I just think that you're going to move heaven and earth in 1 year. What is it that you want to do in terms of your reign as a pageant queen?
I will do the sickle cell walk.
So the sickle cell walk. So sickle cell is something that affects many African Americans. And so you want to get involved. I know some individuals that have personally been impacted with sickle cell. Pastor Joyce Redfern, who's a pastor here in the community, she lost her daughter to sickle cell. And so I think that she would be very helpful. How do you think that you could lend your voice? How old are you, Jordan?
9.
She's 9 years old, America. Do you hear what I'm saying? How do you, as a 9-year-old, how do you feel that you could impact sickle cell? What could you do to help bring awareness to sickle cell?
Well, I would tell the people who have sickle cell, I would say you don't have to hide your head because you're beautiful in any single way.
I don't know who the coordinators are. I need to get the coordinators. I am falling in love with this young woman. You are the epitome of what I think queens are. And I want to say to Miss Morris and Miss Jackson, they made a phenomenal decision. For those who are listening, they made all of the girls, this was their very first pageant, they made all of the women pageants, which means that they all wore crowns. And I was so proud by that because sometimes we get caught up in the idea of who won that we forget about the mission and the purpose. And as I think that you said, Nevaeh, and you said it as well, Jordan, the key thing is to help all of our young women understand that they are absolutely beautiful, Black and proud, and you say it out loud. All right, so Miss Juneteenth Queen, and I see that Juneteenth. Where'd you get that shirt from, dear Miss Pageant Queen?
I actually got it from Miss Renee. It was a couple months back when we actually first started the pageant. We wore them in the parade, and I got it from Miss Renee.
How did it feel being in the parade, knowing that you were the queen of the pageant?
It was an unexplainable feeling, knowing that I had people who came out to see me. Exactly. It was great. I was actually a little scared sitting on top of the car in the parade. Yeah. But it was great.
They're laughing at me here. My stomach started growling, and Jordan looked at me like, "Brother, you need to eat a breakfast. Don't skip breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day." But I'm so excited. What would you say to other young women who are out there that are listening, that are saying, "Hey, you know what? We don't know if this pageant thing is for us." What would you say to them?
I would say, try something new. Try it because it's really fun, and you also will learn a lot of history.
All right, so you guys are learning history. What have you learned, Neve? What have you learned that you did not know as a part of this Juneteenth program? You're just starting out, but is there something that you can say that, hey, I learned this that I didn't know?
Something that I learned in the pageant was that so Abraham Lincoln, he had people sign just so they could know that we were free, because like half of the world didn't know that we were free. So he kind of helped us know that we had freedom.
Okay, so you're saying that you learned about the meaning of our freedom through this pageant. And so I think whenever we empower our young people with education, I had a teacher, his name was Mr. Rowe, and he was a history teacher, and he said, "What is history? Records of the past. What is the purpose of history? To learn from past mistakes." So I hope that you guys in your reign, in your pageantry, that you continue to push forward and make great things happen. I'm so glad to be a part of this process with you all, and I hope that you guys continue to make great things. Yes, were you going to say something, Miss?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge my parents, Miss Renee and my grandma, and I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys have did to get me to where I am now.
All right, so to all of the parents out there, we want to say thank you. We'll be right back after this commercial break to close out.
Looking for a tasty meal with drinks and fun? Come to Knoll View Golf Course. We are open to the public with the best outdoor patio bar on the Sunrise side. Enjoy happy hour at the Final Pour Gazebo Bar on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday from 2 to 5. Enjoy steak, salmon, chicken, or shrimp on the grill, as well as outdoor music Fridays and Saturdays. Bikers welcome. Delicious lunch menu. You don't have to be a golfer to have fun at Knoll View Golf Course. Check us out on 23 in All Gray or online at knollviewgolf.com. See you this summer.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want, consolidate high-interest credit cards, or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back, round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
This is Kareem Bowen, and we're coming to the end of the hour here on the Art Lewis Show. I wanted to say to our wonderful woman, Jordan, there was something that you wanted to say before we got going to our commercial break. What was that?
I want to thank my granny and Miss Renee and Miss Linda, because if my granny didn't take me to that dinner with her birthday club, I would have been in this thing right now.
So we want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. We had a very great conversation for the second hour. We spoke with Sandra Ware with Power to Dream and these beautiful pageant queens, Neve, and as well as Jordan, and also Miss Zariah. Thank you guys for tuning in today.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City,